What are you gents doing on the 6th of November, by the way?
6th of November?
Yeah, just what's on your calendar?
I'm not sure. What's happening?
Stamford Bridge, Chelsea-Arsenal.
Chelsea-Arsenal. I might, if I'm asked, I might be there, if you want me.
Really?
If you need me, I'm there.
Well, hopefully. Maybe we'll have a presence pitch side, because I tell you what, this fixture, and I know it's a London derby, has just gone up a notch because of what Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been recorded saying. This was a leaked video. It's not like he sat down with a reporter and said it, but I'll give you the quote. He says, to manage big characters, he, meaning Arteta, can't deal with it. He needs some young players. They don't say anything, they listen. What's the age of the scorers today? Who had the youngest lineup on average across the Premier League for the entirety of last season? Yeah. This year, such a young lineup as well. Is there any truth in that, you reckon, or is it sour grapes?
No, listen, I think there is truth in it. Of course there's truth in it. But I think sometimes you have to take it into context, because Aubameyang was the captain. And if you're the captain of Arsenal Football Club, you're the leader. And you've got to lead by example. And he exactly didn't lead by example. And this is the thing that players don't say. When they've been in the wrong, you never hear them say, well, I was wrong to do this. You always hear, oh, he can't handle big players. Well, big players need to, one, step up to the mark, and two, act like a big player and lead by example for the youngsters. And he didn't do that. So, hey, listen, it just puts more heat on the fire.
Yeah, I think that's just sour grapes. I think if you look at Aubameyang, how his attitude and how he was, Mikel's obviously coming to the football club to change the culture, and that it's easier to change the culture for younger players. Experienced players have been there, they've seen it, they've done it, they can smell what is going on. It's easy, it's difficult to get them to change the mentality. Young players will buy into it. If it's working, the young players will buy into it, and Mikel's got that. And Aubameyang's obviously been told to leave. He's made the decision because he felt that he wasn't right for the group. And that's as a manager. You've got to take the big decisions, you've got to make the big decisions. And Aubameyang obviously wasn't happy about it, and it's come out today, and it just adds fuel to the fire for when they play each other. And the proof is always in the pudding. Arsenal haven't stepped back since Aubameyang's gone. As a club now, they've moved forward and look, you know, top of the league. I was reading in the press this morning that Aubameyang's been linked to PSG.
Yes, at the end of this season. Yeah. So this is predominantly because...
what does that say?
Well, it's predominantly because he was bought by which manager?
Thomas Tuchel.
Who is now no longer there.
Yeah.
Which does make sense.
Yeah, I understand that. But is he a bad influence in the group at the moment because he's not playing? Is he, you know, Graham Potter, are the owners thinking we need to move him on because of previously what they've done? So Tuchel got the best out of him before, and he had a period at Arsenal was brilliant, but later on at the end of that, he started to become a problem, and Mikel made the right decision. As a manager, you think, what's best for the group? It's not about individuals, it's about what's best for the group. And like Kev said, this group's improving, getting better week in, week out, and it's showing at the top of the league. Outside looking in, do you think he's a bad egg? Well, I don't think he's a good influence on the players. You know, turning up late for training, being a discipline, being a captain, you've got to show leadership, and he never showed leadership under Mikel. And that's the reason he got rid of him. And, you know, you've got to stay strong. You've got to have the backing from your club. Arsenal backed him with that. And that's why he's not in the football club anymore. Makes sense. Listen, bad eggs can't stay. Well, listen, bad egg maybe he's not a bad egg because I believe he's a likeable character. But when you've got that armband on, things change. You're not just a normal player. You are the figurehead, the mouthpiece, the tone setter for the football club. Well, I say turning up late for training. I turned up late for the North London derby, remember? Yeah, he got dropped. Do you remember last season? Again, that's bad professionalism, and Mikel's not going to stand for that. Yeah. Maybe people before have got away with that. Let him get away with it. You know, previous manager, and he's thought, I need to clamp down on this now because if I don't, the dressing room will take over, and he made that decision. The likes of Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli. Oh, that's the way to behave. No, it's not the way to behave. You know, it's not the way to behave. Punctual, on time, do things correctly, and that's what makes winners. And as we've seen the youngsters start to shine now.
There was a report when he first signed for Chelsea that Thomas Tuchel, who had managed him before to great success, I should add, at Dortmund, was well aware of his timekeeping issues. But apparently that was the only issue. And he was okay with it at Dortmund. Why? Because Aubameyang was scoring goals for him.
You're doing it on the pitch.
Well, exactly. That's my point. So can a blind eye be turned to something like that?
Listen, let me just tell you one thing about professional football. If you're doing the business, we will work with you.
Well, that's my point.
Right? Hold on, we will work with you. But if you're not doing the business, then I can't turn a blind eye to your misgivings. And Aubameyang was not doing it at Arsenal. He wasn't. And that back end where, he was turned up late and he should have been back because of COVID protocol, etc., and didn't turn up on time. I mean, captain of Arsenal Football Club, no chance. You got no chance.
Post new contract, you could say his form never hit the highs he had before.
And look, you could say that, but I don't want to say it's because of contract. Do you know what? If your form could go, but if your attitude's right,
you get your form back.
The form will come back. His attitude wasn't right.
Yeah, you look at, I just put Ronaldo. Look at his attitude when he's not playing. He trains well. He works hard every day. He's smiling, and he gets the rewards today by scoring his 700th goal, career goal in terms of, in the league. So it's a difference of what you are, and that's why he's one of the greats.
Can a manager be too hardline of their rules?
No,
never.
No, I think you can. I think you've got to have a. I think you've got to have discipline. If you don't have discipline, you can lose your dressing room quickly. And Mikel knew that, and he felt that Arsenal had been a bit of a community centre over the years, and people were getting away with things, and he felt that, no, this is the way I want to manage. Listen, you have rules and you respect it, but turning up late for games, or not even turning up or training, it comes a point where the players are despondent and they lose their way a little bit, and that eats into the whole squad. Like Kev said, if he's the captain, then other younger players are leading, but taking examples, saying, "Oh, but that's all right for him," and that's all right. But then, and all of a sudden, it becomes big problems. And if you've got to shut it down quickly, and he's done that, and he's moved them on, I think that's just so great.
Ozil, Mesut Ozil,
huge money as well. Yeah,
Mesut Ozil, gone. Aubameyang, gone. You cannot have these guys ruling the dressing room.
Xhaka, nearly gone. But his mentality and his attitude changed. He's back in the fold.
Look at him now. He's a different player. The club's different. The dressing room's different.
Lacazette, gone. Big players.